Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Brandy Boy, back at it again with another Fallout 4 video. Today, I'm going to be showing you my top 5 favorite sniper rifle mods. I'm sure we're all familiar with what snipers are, but here's a quick rundown anyway. The purpose of a sniper rifle, of course, is for long-range precision. They are used to take out enemies from a long distance, sometimes even as far as a mile away. In order to do that, snipers are commonly equipped with scopes, long barrels, and are usually either bolt action or semi-auto. They also make use of full-length rifle cartridges, which starts out with the 7.62 NATO or 308, and goes up from there. Once you hit 50 BMG though, that becomes a part of anti-materiel rifle territory. But for the sake of this video, those will be on this list. They are essentially a subcategory of snipers, which are used for taking out equipment and vehicles more often than people. Either way, all the guns on this list are designed to take out enemies at a distance, whether it be raiders or sentry bots. Starting out here, the rifle you've been seeing this whole time is the vanilla Fallout 4 hunting rifle, but there are some noticeable changes. And that's because I'm using the Battlefield 1 reanimation pack for it. As you can tell, it completely redoes the animations and swaps the bolt over to the correct side for increased immersion. Alongside that, I'm also using the hunting rifle set retexture mod. For another change, you've already noticed it by now, that the scope is way different, and that's from the see-through scopes mod. I don't think I need to explain too much what that one does. It really speaks for itself. Anyway, you'll definitely want to pick up that one because a lot of sniper rifle mods utilize it. To complement the scopes, you should also install the crafting framework mod. It does quite a lot of things, but I mainly use it so I can customize the zoom of my scopes. All you have to do is head to a weapons workbench, add on the legendary enhancement, then select gun options, and you'll see it under the zoom tab. For one last thing though, I'd highly recommend getting a mod that introduces bullet velocity and gravity. There's quite a few out there, but the one I use is Caliber Complex, which also adds in a bunch of new ammunition into the game. If you want to check it out a bit more in depth, then you could always watch the video I made about it. Okay. I won't keep y'all waiting any longer. Here's the top 5 sniper rifle mods for Fallout 4. In 5th place, this one is iconic. This is the Barret M200 Intervention. Not only does it look stunning, but the hefty animations and sounds are very satisfying as well. When it comes to attachments, there's a fair amount to choose from, but it is rather minimal. So the Intervention is quite a special American-made precision rifle, which is chambered for the unique 408 Barret cartridge. It started production in the early 2000s, and it was specifically designed to have stopping power that would rival the 50 BMG, while still retaining extreme accuracy up to a couple miles away. Really, it's one of the best in the business for those extreme distance situations. The only downside though, is that it weighs about 30 pounds. Like I said earlier, this gun is quite hefty, and it packs a mean punch too, so I'm glad to see it was characterized correctly here in Fallout. The animations and sounds really immerse you into how bulky the gun truly is. And it's not sluggish, it's just meticulously badass. So no, it's not really a run-and-gun quickscoper like it is in Modern Warfare 2. Funnily enough, most of us may recognize it solely because of Modern Warfare. It's not really shown much anywhere else, but one game alone has ascended this weapon to legendary status. Anyway, to get the weapon here in Fallout, you'll first need to complete a quest, which will show up after you hit level 20. Once you secure it, you'll then be able to select some options on whether it will be injected into the leveled list, or you can just keep it all to yourself. The mod also adds in the unique 408 ammo, which you can find as loot or craft at the chem station. Well, that's all you need to know really. Overall, this mod is superb, and it gets some brownie points since the rifle itself is so iconic. It holds a little place in my heart, and it's simply way too fun to use, so I had no choice but to put it on this list. At number 4, we've got another throwback. This is the PGM Heket 2, which you may just simply know as the anti-materiel rifle from New Vegas. And compared to New Vegas, these animations and aesthetics are definitely an improvement. As for the attachments, there is a pretty decent amount to craft, but the best one has to be the high explosive ammo. The PGM Heket-2 is a 50 caliber French-made precision AMR, which began production in the 1990s. So when you think about it, maybe it shouldn't be in the Fallout universe, but I don't care. It looks cool. Like I mentioned earlier, anti-materiel rifles are quite effective at taking out equipment and vehicles, but in the Wasteland, they may serve a different purpose. Rather, this rifle should be considered an anti-Deathclaw rifle, because it can blow their heads straight off. You can find the rifle fairly often at higher levels as either loot from gunners, or you can buy it from a vendor, so you don't need to worry about that part too much. I gotta say, this sniper is quite a blast to use, and its unique aesthetic really makes it stand out. Plus, it hits like a truck, and the animations and sounds make you feel the power behind each shot. Just overall, the rifle has a rugged and tough feel to it. It fits perfectly into a post-apocalyptic setting, but we already knew that. Anyway, I'm glad to see All Reliable here in Fallout 4, and I can't wait to see this very mod show up in the Fallout 4 New Vegas remaster. Until then, I'll keep using it here in the Commonwealth, because it's easily one of the best sniper mods out there. In third place is the Remington XM2010. Overall, the animations are pretty slick. However, the sprinting animation appears to be vanilla. What's really special about this mod is that you can immediately switch to a red dot sight for close quarters target acquisition. However, I noticed when doing so, it resets your magazine without even reloading. In order for that to work though, you'll have to attach the sight at a workbench and then set a hotkey from the mod's configuration menu. For this rifle, there's a whole lot of attachments. By default, it'll be chambered for .308, and you can convert it to 50 caliber. But in my game here, I made a custom edit for it to use .300 Winchester and .338 Lapua from the Caliber Complex mod. Other than that, there's plenty of customization, especially when it comes to scopes and cosmetics. The best one though, has to be the pendants you can put on your gun, which will sway around as you move. Another feature you may have noticed when looking at the configuration menu is the ability to toggle thermal vision. It works simply with the press of a hotkey, but you can put on a pair of night vision goggles so it's more realistic, unless you have predator vision or something. Anyway, you can craft the goggles and the rifle at the chem station. The XM2010 is a fairly new platform, which was designed in 2010 of course, by the US company Remington, and it's especially used by the US military. Unlike all the other rifles on this list, this one is relatively lightweight, only about 12 or so pounds, and it's chambered for .300 Winchester Magnum, making it a much more nimble weapon to handle, such is the case here in Fallout as well. The way this rifle plays, it's supposed to be more of a close to mid-range aggressive sniper. That's especially obvious with that neat canted sight feature, but of course, it's still more than capable of those long distance shots. As far as the game will load, that is. Either way, it's a really fun gun to use, and I love the unique features that the mod adds along with it. As a quick heads up, make sure to download the see-through scopes patch and the level list patch in the optional files on the mod page, if you want the gun to show up as loot. Overall, the rifle looks fantastic, and it's simply satisfying to shoot. The animations are really snappy, and they reflect the responsiveness of the rifle, but there's still a few kinks that need fixing. Besides that, this is one of the best sniper mods. Dare I say, top 3. In second place, the runner-up spot. You may recognize it from the new Modern Warfare. This is the AX50. The animations are mirrored after Modern Warfare, and my goodness, the sounds are crisp. For the attachments, there's a good amount, but nothing too crazy. I will say though, the ghillie wrap and the Doge charm definitely give this mod some bonus points. The AX50 is a British-made precision AMR, chambered for 50 caliber, and it was made in 2010 by Accuracy International. It may be considered an AMR, but don't let that fool you. This thing is deadly accurate. It's also yet another heavy sniper, just like most on this list, but the animations really set it apart. It has a husky feel, but it's also quick and visceral. Well, that's just because it's based off the animations from Modern Warfare, but I really like that style. Anyway, it's quite an effective rifle for multiple situations, and I feel comfortable using it at any range, even for quickscoping. It can even take out enemies all the way from mirelurks to giant behemoths with relative ease, and you'll have a whole lot of fun while doing it. It's simply a joy to use, and those aesthetics are absolutely immaculate. I'll admit, this is the finest looking sniper I've seen, and the ghillie wrap goes along swimmingly with the ghillie suit mod, which will be linked in the description of course. Alright, so, I was extremely close to calling this one my favorite sniper, and it was for quite a while, but just recently, a new toy came out for us to play with, and man, it was hard to decide between these two. But alas, I had to choose, and so first place goes to the M82 Barret from the Combined Arms mod. Just like the AX50, the animations on this one are modeled after Modern Warfare. And for the attachments, that's where the fun begins. There's plenty of tweaks you can make to mix up your gameplay by changing up the barrels and scopes, but most importantly, the conversion kits. There is a choice between 50 BMG, 416 Barret, 20mm Vulcan, and 25mm explosive rounds, which is the best one of course. Other than that, there are some other cosmetic changes you can make. The Barret M82 is an American-made 50 caliber anti-materiel rifle which first began production in the 1980s and later went into service in the 90s. Since then, it gained quite a bit of popularity in the media, probably because it looks so intimidating, and for good reason. It's a semi-automatic sniper, making it a DPS machine. In the wasteland, this is easily one of the most powerful tools to have at your disposal, and it's quite versatile as well. With all the different attachments, you can suit it for any situation. Perhaps its strong suit though, is taking out those big enemies, such as sentry bots or deathclaws. But of course, it can eat up a whole gang of raiders in short notice. But that's just a bit overkill. Like I said, the raw damage output of this thing is unmatched. It may be very cumbersome, and not quite as accurate as the other snipers in this list, but man, it definitely is the most exhilarating to use. And ultimately, that's why I had to give it the #1 spot. That, and I've been anticipating a Barret with custom animations for years now. So I'm finally splurging now that I've got one. Seriously, I can't find myself to stop using it, it's simply too good. And it's now my favorite sniper mod of all time. Like I mentioned though, it's a part of a bigger mod pack, which I will be covering shortly. Until then, feel free to go ahead and download the whole thing. I implore you to enjoy the plethora of gun mods out there. Before you go though, if you liked the video, and want to see more videos like this one, then go ahead and blast away that like button, and subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay tuned. I'll see y'all in the next video.